Okie. Hey everybody, it's me again, the lovely with the girl with the horns. But today we are back with the DLC, and yes, I know I've been milking the hell out of the DLC, but what can you do? I want to finish the game, it's fun. And I have a few important announcements to make. Someone has been joining me, or someone will be joining me in the rest of our journey. And let's just get going. She will appear on the end of the video. Yes, on the end of the video. That is the closest I can tell you. But now, let's continue and write a poem for Natsuki, of course. Raindrop. Don't mess this up. Bliss. Thick. Cute. Hop. This is harder than it looks. Vanilla. Dance. Go on. Smile. Devil. Embrace. Melody. Pink. No, not sunset. Lazy play. Pure lazy. Firefly. Bubbles. Poop. Kiss. Poof. Just poof. Angry, empty, special. Bunny. Peace. Pout. Papa. Don't let the poem did not that. Giggle. Only one for Yuri. That was surely a relief. Not meant in any bad ways. Hey, ZeroTwoMike. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This just might be a little strange for me, but at least I'll keep my word. Well, I'm back at the Literature Club, as well as was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Okay, Yuri, no need to get all white-faced on me. Thanks for keeping your promise, ZeroTwoMike. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making a dive head first into the Literature Club when you're not at most to it. Accommodated. Yuri, this is why we argue. You used to... How do we say this? Big one. I just noticed something near the test cavities that seem to be round dots, but we'll not get into that. Oh, Natsuki. Oh, come on, like he deserves any slack. Natsuki. No need to jump out of nowhere out of the plain distance, and the music has gotten a little bit more strange, but let's continue. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here to hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Monica, excuse me, I was trying to read there. But if you don't take... Monica, Natsuki, you're creating have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the classroom. What? Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Come guys, literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki pulls back into her seat. I'm sorry, ZeroTwoMike. Okay, a little twisty. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? We'll make sure to put your come first, okay? Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed gaze. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all perfect, you might have you be interested in a book. Perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read. Well, I can't really say not either way. Like you said, I'm in the club now. So it only feels right to me to do something like this, if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not like that, Yuri. Don't do this. She's not your friend. I want to try to be part of the club. So even if I don't read often, I'll be happy to pick up a book if you want me to. Are you sure? I just feel like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. That is not your job, that's your job, you. I'll keep myself in for today. Yuri reaches into a bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so if it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you want to. How is this girl actually being so cute? She even picked out the book she thinks I like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Finally, Monica, you put out the background to our normal state. And yes, Monica, I know you're after this. You're evil and maniacal. I kinda like that. Now that everybody's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activity for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri faces is already buried in her book. I can't help but notice her interested expression, like she was waiting for the chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rumbling around in the closet. I hear Natsuki utter an expression sigh for where the closet. She seems to be annoyed by something. I approach her in the closet. She needs a hand. You're looking for something in here? Effing Monica! You're not gonna say that here for now. She never puts my stuff back in the right spots. What is the point in keeping your collection organized if someone else is just gonna mess it up? Natsuki slides a bunch of stacked books and boxes across the shelf. Manga? You read manga, right? Sometimes. Manga is one of those things where you can't admit you're really into it until you figure out where you stand with the other person. How did you know that anyway? I heard you bring it up at some point. Besides, it's kind of written all on your face. What's that supposed to mean? I see. There's a long volume of manga amassed the stack of variant books on the side of one of the shelves. Curiously, I pull it out of the stack. There it is! Natsuki snatched it out of my hands. She then turns the box of manga and slips the volume right into the middle of the set. That's better. See, a box set with one book missing is probably the most irritating sight in the world. I know that feeling. Yes, actually I do. It's nothing more irritating than doing something half. I get a closer look at the box set she admires. Perfego. Seems interesting. It's a series never heard of in my life before. This probably means it's either way out of my league, my demographic, or it's simply terrible. If you're gonna judge, you can go do it through the glass on the door. She points to the classroom door. Hey, I wasn't judging anything. I didn't even say anything. It wasn't. It was the tone of your voice. But I'll tell you one thing, ZeroTwoMike. Consider this a lesson. Sorry, you moved a little. Consider this a lesson straight from the Literature Club. Literature Club. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a book. In fact, Natsuki pulls out the first volume of Perfagles from the box. I'm going to show you exactly why. Monica, can you please keep the glitches and things to a minimal? This is kind of being very awkward. She shoved the book right into my hand. I start at the cover. It features 4 girls in colorful, admiring strikes and anime female poses. It's extendingly move. Don't just stand here, there, wherever. Huh? Natsuki grabs my arm and pulls me out of the chair. She then takes a seat against the wall, beneath the window. She pats on the ground next to her, signaling me to sit there. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable? I take my seat. Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time like that. What's that? I guess it's easier to be closer together like this. You don't. This is the second time. You don't say things like that at the start. You see, I can do this and nobody cares. But you can't say that and nobody cares. Don't just say that. You'll make me feel weird about it. Natsuki crosses her arms and scoots an inch away from me. Sorry, I didn't exactly expect to be sitting this close to her either. Not that I can say it's particularly a bad thing. I open the book. It's only a few seconds before Natsuki once again inches closer, reclaiming the additional space while she hopes I won't notice. I can feel her peering over my shoulder much more eagerly to be reading than I am. Wow, how long has it been since I've written the beginning? Haha. You don't go back and flip through the old volumes ever now, then you? I don't know what I just said. Not really. Maybe sometimes after I've already finished the series. Hey, are you paying attention? I am, but nothing is really happening yet, so I can't talk at the same time. It looks like it's about a bunch of friends in high school. Typically slice of life affair. I kind of grew out of this since it's rare for the writer to be entertaining enough to make up the lack of plot. Are you sure this isn't boring for you? It's not, even though you're just watching me read. Well, I'm fine with that, if you say so. I guess it's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince my friends to pick up a series I enjoy. You know what I mean? What? You don't? That's not... Well, would you really know? What do you mean? Didn't you share your manga with your friends? Could you not drop it in? Jeez. Oh, sorry. Like I could ever get my friends to read this. They just think manga is for kids. I can't even bring it up with them. Yawns. You still haven't gone out of that stuff yet? Makes me want to punch them in the faces. I know what those kinds of people. Honestly, it makes a lot of effort to find friends who don't judge, much less friends who are also into it. I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I've grown towards the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Wait, which part? I mean, I feel like I can't keep it in my own room. My dad would beat the shit out of me if he found this. Get some help for yourself, my woman. I could offer data assistance to you anytime if you need my help. At least it's safe here in the club room. Keep Monica is kind of a jerk about it. I just can't win, can I? Well, it paid off in the end, didn't it? I mean, here I am, reading it with you. Yes, it definitely paid off. Here you are, reading it with me. Or the other way around. Well, it's not like it solves any of my problems. Maybe, but at least you're enjoying yourself, right? No answer. Good or bad. So, gee, this isn't anything. Are you gonna keep reading or what? Yeah. I flipped the page. Time. Time passes. Natsuki is staring quietly now. I glance over at her. It looks like she's started to fall asleep. Hi, Natsuki. Yeah. Suddenly Natsuki closes stars into me. Hey. No, Natsuki! Revert your gaze! What did she say? It's gibberish, I can't understand! Natsuki, come back! Oh jeez. Natsuki, are you okay? Yeah. Monica reaches into her bag and pulls out some kind of protein bar. She throws it to Natsuki directly. Natsuki's eyes suddenly light up again. She snatches the bar from the floor and immense tears of the wrap. I told you not to give him. She doesn't even finish her sentence before shoving it into her mouth. Don't worry, ZeroTwoMike. She's fine. It just happens every now and then. That's why I always keep a snack in my bag for her. Anyway, why don't we all share our poems now? I don't mean to be subtle or anything, but Monica, this doesn't seem quite good. Let's share it with Yori first, yes. For one time, Yori, you win. Yori seems to be mostly expressed, so Yori seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can't trust her opinion to be fair. Yeah, you can't trust her opinion to be anything. Yori stares at the poem. A minute passes, more than enough time for her to finish reading. Oh, sorry. I forgot to start speaking. It's fine, don't force yourself. I'm not. I just need to put my thoughts into words. Yes, some people struggle with that. Personally, I struggle with it too. Hold on. Okay. This is your first time writing a poem, right? Yeah. Why do you ask? I'm just making sure. I glance at the might be after reading it through. So it's bad then. No. Did I just raise my voice? I'm sorry. Yuri brushes her hair in her face in her arms. I could help but notice that she's been several minutes and we really haven't gotten anywhere. It might take Yuri a while to get used to a new people. It's fine, I really didn't notice. What were you saying? Right, it's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through this myself, it's kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing I recognize in new writers is that they're to make their style very deliberate. I can't speak. In other words, they tend to pick up writing styles separate from the topic matter and from fit the two together. The end result is both the style and the expression are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor, I can't speak, totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everything else in the club gives you a valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit based through. Based how? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry, it's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri apologized to her, to me, or to Natsuki. Did you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thoughts process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if this is rather. Yuri smiles dreamily as if this a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, is this supposed to be the literature club? Ghosts Under the Light. We already read this, so I'm not gonna read it again. By the way, I'm sorry, have I such terrible handwriting? What? I wasn't thinking at that at all. But it took you a long time to read it. Well, it just didn't read scripts very often. Scripts, this is not okay. Well, often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I hope you like the poem. Even though it's short, it was very descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write long poems, not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time starting, I wanted to write something little more mild. Something easy to discuss, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, says Mike. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you didn't only glance over it after all, but remember the poems often express their own thoughts, feelings. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In the case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolized by Comer to be a ghost, lying in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. This is a lot more Sloan put into it than that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Well, it makes me happy that you think that. Just remember that you won't be long before you pick up on those things too. You may be really, may you really, you may be right. I guess I'll have to keep trying. I'm I'm counting on you. I can't read today. You'll have to excuse me. Monica. Hi, ZeroTwoMike. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have a suggestion for the club, like a new activity or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Okay, Monica. Okay. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. Okay. I'm much better off going with the flow until I'm more settled. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, ZeroTwoMike. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of embarrassing that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. I like it, ZeroTwoMike. Really? It's a lot cuter than I expected. Oh jeez. No. It's kind of makes me think of something that Natsuki would write. And she's a good writer too. So that's complimentary. If you say so, yep. If you're interested in Natsuki, then you always keep a snack on you. She'll cling to you like a puppy. Natsuki's dad doesn't give her lunch money or leave her any food in the house, so she's in a fuzzy mood pretty often. But sometimes she just loses all her strength and shuts down. Like earlier. That is just a guess, but I think she's so small because her malnutrition is inferior with her block and grow. But hey, some guys are into plenty girls too, you know. Sorry, just trying to look at the bright side. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. Well, that's the case. I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I'll always feel like that, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confident eye, forever glance, blah 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 blah. The room being to close in on me. The air I breathe, swallowing my fear, I branch my... Oh, that's a new one. Hole in the wall. But he wasn't looking at me. Confessed, I finally glanced at my surroundings. But my bronze eyes can no longer see colors. Are there others in the room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper? The sound of Franz scratching, playing tricks on my ears. The room being too crinkly. Close on me. The air I breathe despaired before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I branch my pen. Not bad. So what do you think? It's very free-formed. Is that what you call it? Sorry, I'm not really that right person to ask for feedback. Ha, it's okay. Yeah, it's kind of a style hasn't got pretty popular nowadays. That's a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on their timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I would have to put it. I guess you could say this that I had some kind of reaction. It's been influencing my poems a bit. And Epolony? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or story, your brain gets you fixed on specific points. If you try too hard to make a perfect them, you'll never make progress. Just force yourself to get something done on paper and tip it up later. Anyway, what way to think about it is, if you keep your pen in one spot too long, you'll get just a big puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. And I think that's all for today. So I'll see all of you, beautiful people, next time.
Bye, darling.
Bye bye!